Hi guys, it's Emily as a Panda here. I just want to do a quick video on how I feel about bullying and depression. I don't think many people realise what can trigger depression, and I don't think many people understand why it triggers depression. Obviously, if you're a bully to a victim, you think it's fun, you think it's, a laugh, and you just basically, bullies want to impress their friends and act like they're the bigger person. But what bullies don't realise is the side effects it can have on the victim and what it can cause them to do. The victim may not take it at heart at first, but when it gets more serious and more frequent, that person will start to cave in on themselves. They won't tell anyone about it. They'll start feeling sad. They'll start doubting themselves. They'll start rethinking about, do I really like myself? Are they right? That is when the negative thoughts come in and they start hating who they are. They stop going to school. They lose motivation. And they become more distant with their family, friends, because they just don't know what to do anymore with themselves. And that is when depression kicks in. That is when you start feeling sad all the time. That is when you hate who you are. That is when you don't know what to do with yourself. And that is some of the side effects bullying can do. And even worse than that, that person can commit suicide because of bullying. And I really don't think bullying in schools is taken seriously these days. Bullying is not something teachers handle like they should. Bullying is something teachers don't see as really a danger, in a sense. And I think teachers, if they handled bullying in a more serious way, as in, they say if they get the victim is getting bullied online, they can't do anything about it. But they could easily report it to the police and let the police handle it from there. Because if someone tells someone to commit suicide and they do, that is a criminal charge. They can get done for manslaughter for that, because that is telling someone to kill themselves. And if they do, they are responsible for it. Because at the end of the day, if you tell someone to commit suicide and they do, you were the last person to talk to them, and you were the last person to drive them over the edge. Therefore, they should get punished for it. And I think if teachers did take into consideration of bullying and the side effects of what it can do to people mentally and physically, then less teenagers would have depression these days. But of course, it's more common these days. And that is because of the bullying policy in schools. And I think if they took it more seriously, less teenagers would commit suicide. And I think if they handled it in a more serious matter and mature way, teenagers wouldn't feel so alone and wouldn't fall into the trap of depression, and they would be able to talk to someone. They would be able to open up to someone. But of course, when a student is being bullied and no one is aware of this, they're going to cave in on themselves, and they're going to sit in silence, and they're just going to take it day by day. And every day they get bullied, it chips away a piece of them, and that's then what makes them think, I can't do this anymore, I need to die. And that's when they sadly end their lives. And a lot of people have been lost to suicide because of bullying, and I really think it's something that needs to definitely step up and realise that bullying hurts, bullying can kill, bullying ruins lives, and depression isn't just a phase. Depression stays with you for life. It's a permanent mark in your life. And no matter if you've been years of it clean and you have managed to push the negative thoughts and think positively for years, depression can still strike at any time. It can take a few things to push you over the edge, and the negative thoughts can be back. It's a permanent part of your life. And victims of bullying have to live with that. They have to live with having a permanent scar of depression, the negative thoughts, the words they've been told. And if those words get repeated to them in the future, flashbacks will come when they get back at school and like, oh no, this is happening again. And that's when they'll start to cave in on themselves again, and it's not right. No one should have to deal with that. I really just think bullying is taken as a joke by most people, and if you do know anyone that is getting bullied or is suffering in silence, please tell someone. You don't understand how much that could mean, and you don't understand that can actually save a life. And saying something about bullying is probably the bravest thing you can do, because not many people will have the courage to do that. They will just sit back and watch. But if you do know someone who's getting bullied, help them and say something to someone before it's too late.